Oh my god. It's an angel. I can finally get answers to all the questions I have. Like, why are my legs all the way over there? Mate, this drop rate is terrible. I've killed so many of these. Still no drop. Like, what is this even? Why hello there internet. It is time to finally cover the Excalibur, the OG frame, the Dark Sector boy. The frame that started off with a bloody super jump and ended up with one of the most beloved abilities in the entire game. Excalibur is one of the 3 frames that he can pick at the start, so a lot of people assume that he's not particularly good. But the opposite is true. Excalibur is one of the most versatile and fun frames in the entire game. You can go through pretty much the entire game with just Excalibur as long as you know how to build him. The build I'm going to be showing you today is a fairly basic Exalted Blade brawler that's not too difficult to put together. It's really fun and it can deal with anything the game will throw at you. So to start it all off, we have the aura. I run Steel Charge, but you can run Corrosive Projection as well, which is generally better damage because it strips away enemy armor. Steel Charge does give you more mod capacity though. You can run either of the two, it doesn't really make that big of a difference. After that, we run Archon Vitality if you have it for more heat procs from Exalted Blade, but if you don't have it, Umbro Vitality or regular Vitality will be just fine. After that, we're gonna slap on Steel or Umbro Fiber for armor as well as Adaptation. This provides extra damage resistance, which this build really needs because we don't really have any good ways of mitigating damage, so Adaptation can help you tank a lot more damage. Next to the menu, we have Intensify and Power Drift for a bit of extra power strength, followed by Streamline and Fleeting Expertise, that's 2 ranks from the top, as well as Primed Continuity. This gives us a nice combination of efficiency and duration, which reduces the drain on Exalted Blade by a lot. And to top it all off, we're running Chromatic Blade. This is an Exalted Blade augment that's absolutely fantastic. First of all, it gives you 300% increased status chance, which is actually scaled even further with your power strength, and it changes the base damage of your Exalted Blade depending on your emissive color. Reds and oranges will give you heat, blues and purples will give you electricity, grays and blacks will give you cold, and greens will give you toxin. For this build specifically, we're going to be using reds or oranges to get heat. The Exalted Blade stats on this build are pretty solid. We have a drain of 0.65 energy per second, which is awesome, solid damage, nice blind duration, and the status chance is at 435%, which is huge. Also, if you're a rich boy or gal, I would highly recommend running Arcane Strike for extra attack speed, as well as Arcane Grace for health regen. For the Exalted Blade build, you can either go the cheap route, which is this, or you can go the more expensive route, which runs Sacrificial Pressure and Steel. The mods are once again pretty straightforward. We start off with Prime Pressure Point for generic melee damage, Berserker Fury and Gladiator Vice for attack speed, because nothing feels better than having loads of attack speed on your Exalted Blade. Then we slap on True Steel for crit chance, Organ Chatter for crit damage, Volcanic Edge or Molten Impact for heat damage and a little bit of status in the case of Volcanic Edge, and we top it off with Shocking Touch and Prime Fever Strike for corrosive. Now you could go with a Vital and Heat setup instead, especially if you have Archon Vitality for those extra heat procs, but I find that generally Corrosive and Heat feels better on this. It's generally better to run Vital and Heat if you're running Corrosive Projection, so you have some base armor strip, but if you're running Steel Charge, getting the extra Corrosive armor strip on top of the Heat armor strip is really good. This build is really fun. It can sit in Exalted Blade forever basically, because it drains a less than 1 energy per second, so you can sustain it with energy orb drops alone. And it's pretty easy to put together as well. Yes, you're gonna have to do some farming for adaptation, you might have to buy Chromatic Blade from someone else if you don't have the right syndicate, and you're gonna have to do vault runs on Deimos to get Fleeting Expertise. But you should be trying to do these things anyway, so it's not like you have to go out of your way to put this build together. I feel like everyone should have at least some variation of this build because it's really fun, it's very strong and extremely versatile, as I've mentioned in the beginning. The main downside is that it's not the tankiest build ever. We're basically just relying on adaptation, health and armor, so you're gonna get slapped around pretty hard if you take it into Steel Path. But hey, no build is perfect. And that's pretty much it for the video, so I thank you very much for watching, as always guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.